Hello and welcome to the Car Care channel, and welcome back to the 600,000 mile Lexus, which today gets a new face. It's time. These headlights, this grille, have been in service for 631,000 miles, and it looks not good. Or as I like to say, they look okay. We're going to change those, and then in the process, we would like to bring this car to the 21st century. So we have some plans for the infotainment system. Yes, a 2001 car with an infotainment system, or at least that's the plan. Let's get working on the car and we'll see how this goes. So we start the episode with the broken grille. Unfortunately, this grille is brand new. Somebody bought it, assembled it, didn't like it, and then they threw it on eBay to sell it. I just bought it and just discovered that this is broken. This grille is in 3 pieces, so we're gonna use the middle pieces. It's not really worth to return it, and it was so cheap that it's fine. Let's just use the middle. They are OEM parts though, brand new, the middle and the emblem. And then could not get these new, so we got some really nice, clean, used ones. But the headlights are the biggest thing. These are actually not LS430 headlights. These are self-sear headlights, which are exactly the same, but the aiming is different, so we're gonna have to work on that a little bit. But let us roll. First thing, I think, let's do the opposite of what I normally do. Let's do the easiest thing first, then we'll do the hardest thing last. All right, let us see how this grille is gonna come out. So something when you work on cars, if you're not sure how something comes off, look at your new part or your partially broken new part. So I see here, 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 and here. Looks like a few bolts. Well, let's get them out and we'll see how that goes. So let's take, there's 1, 2, and technically that should, oh, okay, all right, I can do that. Oh, she's screaming already. Oh, I see a problem. This handle is actually part of this grille. There we go. From there you're not. There we go. Now we're good. Are we? Yes. Got the grille out. I think we're just gonna clean the outside and reuse it. And then the middle we will change since we have it. But we got lots of cleaning. There's 600,000 miles worth of mold. So let's just clean that real quick. Let's disassemble the old one first. And we're gonna clean this really well and reuse it because the other one's broken, unfortunately. You know what? I just discovered something. I'm noticing that this grille alone is heavier than this entire thing. So the replacement part is plastic. This is actual chrome. Wow, this is something else. How about that? Because this is an OEM part, and yeah, they just don't make them like they used to, even their parts. So we'll still clean that, but for now, let's take this chintzy, plasticky thing out. We're gonna use those new screws, which also, I don't think they're the right screws. They're definitely not the right screws. Still have my doubts on this particular piece being OEM. Because it's just, I'm not seeing a part number on this. I wonder, that's why this was super cheap. Yeah, this is definitely not OEM, so I stand corrected. It is R dot. Now, you know what? Here's the part number. Yeah, this is plastic, not real chrome. Anyways, because this has a part number, and this has a Toyota part number. It's actually stamped right here as well. This does look very nice. Beautiful. Well, let's retire our 600,000 mile Grille, which looks horrible. Let's put this to the side for now, because we got some cleaning to do. This thing is a literal piece of metal. We have some cleaning to do here. I think this is as good as we're going to get this, because we do not have, now there's one spot that I'd like to clean a little better. This is, I did not anticipate this being metal or chrome. So we do not really have a metal polish right now, because we're not a body shop here. But I think we got it a little better. I'm okay with it. I can live with this. Let us put the new grill on it. That's not how this goes. That's how this goes. And I unfortunately will have to use the incorrect screws, because they are already made their opening. The other screws are much smaller. Let's put this back together. Okay, problems are starting, folks. Does this screw want to go in? Oh yeah, this one worked. Ish. No, it's not very good, but I think we have enough screws to hold it, and we should be fine. Hopefully. And then, oh yeah, that's all it is. Awesome. This looks a lot better. I think if we take some of my fingerprints, maybe a cleaner rack. Anyways, this looks a lot better. I would have wished to replace the grill as well, but now I know why. These are extremely expensive OEM, because they're real chrome. The replacement one apparently is not. So let's put this back in the car. Let's move on to the bigger job, which is the headlight. Install the grill. Okay, let's not install the grill like that. Yeah, right there, it's better. Yeah, I like that. Now we just install the screws that hold it, then attach the cable, and then we can look at the final results. What I like about this is we're actually installing these on a metal piece, so we're not worried about fragile plastic breaking. I like that. See, I'm not a body guy. I work on these LSs a lot, but we learned something new today, because I was not actually aware that this grill is actual chrome, not Folks, it's been a minute since cars had actual chrome grills. And this one does, and that's just another testimony to its build quality. Everything they used here was real stuff. They didn't just put a plastic one. I like that. Let's close that hood and let's see how that looks. This looks really nice. I mean, just by changing the grill, and even though the old grill, you know, unless you look at it close, but just this consistent color just looks amazing. I can't wait to be done with this. Let's pop the hood once more. And let's start removing the headlights. Now, to remove the headlights, we have to pull the front bumper. And we discovered something driving this, I believe, I don't remember, Jose, if we were driving it from or to Chicago Auto Pro. I noticed that the hood was shaking at highway speeds. And initially I thought there was an adjustment. You know, we did some adjustments. I was like, no, everything is fine. But now I discovered what it is. Look at this whole support bar. That's where the hood latch is. And I discovered that I actually can see it. This lower support bracket is actually not even bolted on. So we're going to fix that while we're here, because I don't remember the last LS I drove that the hood was just shaking at highway speeds. But let's remove some of these clips. So the bumper has 3 clips here. I think these are original clips just from the way they feel. They're not these cheap replacements. Then I'm going to remove these, although we don't need them for the bumper. Just while we're here, these are the cheap clips. Yeah, that doesn't belong here. Neither does this one. That's okay. Neither does this one. Neither does this one. Where there is a collection of all sizes and shapes of clips here. I mean, somebody's definitely been here. Some of these clips are. There we go. Folks, this style clip is the worst invention ever. Takes it 2 seconds to install it, and then you're fighting it to remove it. Never use this style clip. Really dislike these. Because this is what you have to do to remove them. Then they break, and it's just, I don't like these. Now, the bumper is loose here, but we gotta loosen it on the sides, underneath, then we pull it out. Let's see how this bumper comes off. I don't exactly recall recently at least pulling a bumper of one of these LSs. Oh, well, that was barely holding on. Well, there is one bolt here. See, yes, there are 2 more. This is the old style, the good style, the good old style. See if I can get to it. Fall, don't fall. Here's one nut. It's a very strange looking nut. And then that didn't sound nor look very good. It was loose. Well, this bumper is ready to fly out of here. So let's go do the same thing to the other side, and then she's ready to come out. All right, all we got left now is a few of these bolts. Okay, I think she's ready to come out. Let's lower the car, pull the bumper off. Let's pull the bumper, Jose. Okay, there's a connector by you for the fog light. Is yours stuck? You got it out? Yeah. You see the fog light connector? Just unplug the whole bulb, like turn the bulb one way or another, because I'm replacing these bulbs anyways. There you go. Okay, it's out. I have to say, I have been extremely excited about doing this since I laid eyes on this car. I really dislike cars with yellow headlights. Okay, retirement time, my friends. Retirement time is here. Oh, I guess somebody's not ready for retirement. I'm ready for retirement. Are you? Okay. Oh, not okay. Hold on there, buddy. All right. Well, that looks a lot better than how it was. Yes. That just looks very nice. I can't wait to put this back together and see it with the new lights. Let's test this one out. Parking light is on. Headlight is on. Turn signal. High beams. Yes, it's working. Let's move on to the next one. Let's move the other side. All right, everything looks good. Let's replace the fog lights. I am not going to clean the inside of this bumper because this bumper actually might get replaced in the end, because once we get to the body shop stage, there's a few rips in it, few issues that we might end up just putting a new one, because this one have seen better days. We'll see how that works in future episode. We'll talk a little bit more about it at the end of this episode, but for now, let us swap the fog light. Once I find my screwdriver, here it is. There it is. That was not fun. Goodbye, 600,000 mile fog light. Hello, 39,000 mile fog light. Hopefully, that's what they said at least. Let us see how we're gonna get this installed. This was a little difficult to install actually. Okay, that's in here. All right. That looks like it's in. Let's do the other side. Yeah, this is the one that we
I
had.
think it's like broken or something.
No, this is stubborn. There we go. Locked. Okay. Let's line up the studs. Let me put the 3 clips in the middle, and that should secure it enough for us. I just want to see it. I can't wait, folks. I woke up this morning thinking of this moment, and it's here. I just want to close the hood and see how it looks. Tell me that doesn't look amazing. I have been wanting to do this since we started working on this car. Let us just check everything. Everything's working. Looks amazing. I am super happy with this. Let us put it completely back together and move on to the next exciting thing. Now that we made the LS430 look a little better, it's time to bring it to the 21st century. You know, we got this little screen and navigation, by the way, from the last episode. It did not work. Our little experiment didn't work. I got a DVD and then I found out that it does have a DVD. It's not working. So I've decided we're just going to leave it unplugged, like we did last episode. I don't really need the map or all that because it's irrelevant, because what we're going to do today will make up for all that. I got used to Apple CarPlay, and I love it. I think it's one of the greatest things in cars. And the 2001 and Apple CarPlay, they just don't get along. Until a little company did something. They're not the only company. I just decided to go with them. They're not really sponsored or anything. They didn't send me the product. I bought this on my own money. This is the V-Line Grom 2, I believe that's, or Grom V-Line 2, something like that. We're going to try it. I mean, I don't know if it's going to work well. So basically what this does, supposedly, is retain your original screen. You just push a button and then it switches to the internal thing here. And we have magically Apple CarPlay wireless. So that's what I want to find out. But let's look at what do we have in this little box of magic. User guide and something else. Okay, well, when we need help, we'll deal with that. So it looks like there's this little module with an antenna. I don't know how that antenna is going to work inside the dash, but few connectors, HDMI, USB, another HDMI. Oh, in and out. Okay. Camera AV. Actually, I got a camera for it. We'll see if we have enough time to install it today. Microphone, because I think you can make calls. Okay, what else do we have? This is the wire, like the car specific wire. I hope this plugs right into our OEM connectors, because I do not want to start cutting wires. That's the one thing in my research. I don't want to chop up the harness of the car to install something aftermarket. I really don't like aftermarket stuff, but in this case, this is not very intrusive, and we kind of have no other choice, because I'd rather have the original screen than some aftermarket screen. Looks like we got a USB connector. This looks like a microphone. And this looks like a GPS antenna and a little bracket. Okay, well, we got a lot to do. But before we do anything, we're going to have to disassemble the car. And the first thing we're going to do here is pull the radio, which, by the way, in the LS430, this is the radio. This is just a screen. And yes, right now, the thought in your mind is, why didn't we do this when we had this entire dash out of the car a few weeks ago? That would be a very good question. Yes, that would have made a lot more sense. But I wanted to make sure that the car was good first before we start adding more stuff that could cause more issues. But now we know everything's good. Ish. Navigation doesn't work, but it's fine. Let's take it apart and let's see how this whole thing's gonna work. Let's pull this thing apart again. I feel like deja vu is here. Why don't you want to come out? There it is. It's an LS430. It has real metal clips. Okay. Remember, you can do it. There it is. I just remembered. Every single of us have pulled apart here. I always forget that middle screw, and I forget we're working on a car that every panel that should have 2 bolts, it has 3 bolts, just for good screws. It has 3 of them for good measure. And I dropped that one, of course. We'll find it. You know, the nice thing is, we're tearing into this car for the first time. Interior, everything is clean. Very, very clean. Except I dropped it. Oh, there it is. There it is. Beautiful. Now, let's pull the radio out. And I lost my 10. I'll be back. Well, here's the radio. Hello again. Feel like we were just here. You know what? I feel like this is in the way. Let me remove it. This is our new shift knob, which I love. Alright, let's put this radio here. These scary buttons has to come out. See why I call them the scary buttons? Because you have to pry them real close to the dash. Because the car is already assembled, they have to pull these 2 screws to remove the screen, and pulled it apart. When we had the whole dash out, we actually removed this whole bracket, and now can't do that. To do it the long way. So here's the action plan. This GROM basically hijacks the signal of the screen and the radio. And to do that, we have this T connector, and this is the part that made me try this. Otherwise, I really dislike aftermarket accessories. So this plugs into the screen, this plugs into the car's harness, and then this plugs into the GROM itself. Same thing for the radio. So when you install aftermarket accessories, this is the only thing I'll tell you. Never do final assembly until you test things, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. I am going to plug in this screen, and we'll kind of plug things in and test it and see how this GROM thing works. Might not work at all, or it might work halfway. I don't know. We'll find out. This seemed to be the best option in my case. If you have an old car, I think This is your best option, better than going all aftermarket radio and then nothing works. Actually, I don't need to plug this in, and I'm going to plug it just to make sure that everything is working. So I'm just going to set the screen in here. No, we can't with this cable. Okay, maybe not. Okay, well, it's not installed, it's just temporary. Now the second one is this one. This is the same connector. Just looks weird. No. Something, I see a bent pin already. Wonder if we just did that or that was the way it is. Never force connectors together, folks. That's a bad idea because you could really short stuff out, and now we have major problems. Something ain't right. Yeah, we're off to a great start, right? Told you I don't like aftermarket stuff. I don't feel comfortable with this. It's still a little too hard. No, we didn't bend any pins. They're not perfectly straight. Oh, now it's much better. Okay, that must have straightened the last little bent pin. So, let us see here. Doing something. I think the CD changer. I'm not gonna set this back in. I'm just gonna leave it right there. CD changer is really not happy, doing all kinds of stuff, but let's see how this works. So big connector, which is the radio one. I guess it only goes one way. Camera. There's that one. And there is this one. Okay, this thing is now plugged in. So there's only one thing to do. Turn the key on and see what happens. And the wipers come on. Well, HVAC works. Let's make sure, climate. Okay, that's working. Audio itself works. I just can't put audio because copyright. But here's what they want you to do. Press and hold this. Oh, it just switched. I saw it. So here's how this is gonna go. Turn on the key. Audio's off. If we turn on the audio, we're in FM. If you hit disc, it immediately switches. Do you see that? That is pretty cool. And the screen just changed. Just small disclaimer about this, and this is the only possible downside of using something like this. This screen is not like this. Not even like this one. It's more like this one. Remember, this is a 2001 car. So, okay, well, I never thought I'd live a day where I see this in my life, but Apple CarPlay from 2001. So, okay, track your car maintenance, fuel trips, and more. No, let's not do that. Let's use Bluetooth tethering. Okay, select available. I don't want that, I already told you. Let's see if we can connect. I have my phone in my hand. Let us see if it appears. So I discovered if I turn off the Bluetooth and on in my phone and then try it again, it did pair. There we go. Pair and pair. This is my car. Okay. Use CarPlay. And ladies and gentlemen, this might be the moment of truth, where an Apple iPhone interface comes in Grandpa's 2001 LS. It's doing something. Wow! Welcome to Apple CarPlay from 2001. I never thought in my life I would see this. And you know what the best part is? We can actually play some music. Now it's trying to take me home. Probably don't want to go home yet. I can. Yes, it works. Wow, I am impressed. Sounds pretty good. This is music that we have rights to, YouTube, so we're good. Shout out to Epidemic Sounds, they have great music. Folks, this works. I am shocked that this actually works. Wow, this is amazing. I never thought in my life that I will ever see this on an LS, and here we are, except an aftermarket radio, but on the factory radio. This is just epic. I am just speechless, honestly. So let's move on to the next part of this plan, because this doesn't look like a car right now. This thing works and works really good, but now we have to make it a little bit more permanent. That would be nice. So I'm gonna pull back the radio and we're gonna route the wiring. So from kind of looking at what others have done, again, I am not into the aftermarket thing at all, but this, I'm gonna call this good aftermarket. So far, I don't know if it's gonna continue to work this good, because that sounded really good, especially with the new speaker. I feel like this is doing the Mark Levinson system justice. But let's pull everything, and from everybody that has installed this, the best way seems to put it in the glove box. I'm the kind of person that usually leave my glove box empty. I just don't like putting stuff in it. So it takes a little bit more space out of the glove box, especially on this car that has 2 glove boxes. I don't mind it. So I think we're gonna head towards that. But that is easier said than done, because this top glove box is completely closed off. So I'm wondering if we're going to install it in the bottom one, because it is open through here. As soon as, yeah, I see it right there. So I'm going to route these top wires through here. Okay. This is the part that I don't like about aftermarket stuff, wiring their wires, routing their wires. But what are you gonna do? We're trying to introduce the 21st century to Grandpa, so this is the only way. Okay, so that's routed successfully. Here's that one through the glove box. Make sure it's out of the way, not hitting anything. Okay, and then this bottom one, I have to route it through the bottom here. Same way, so I can get it. There it is. I think we have liftoff. This is routed properly. Alrighty. I like that. I think that works. I think this is good. Let's push these wires in the glove box. Ooh, we have a problem. Glove box don't want to close. Which means so I routed the wires through the opening where the slide for that holds the glove box is. So I'm gonna do this off camera. I'm just gonna route it toward the back, and I think that'll work better. So now I got it routed the right way. The glove box closes, so that's good. Not get into that too much right this second, but for now, let's install the screen. That made this too tight. Okay. Maybe here I am going back on the. Okay, let's do this again. Oh, there we go. That's much better. And then the vent wire. There we go. All right, they're sitting properly. I'm gonna connect all the bolts and everything off camera, and then we'll continue on and we'll do a final test because we still gotta install the microphone. So now we have to mount the microphone so we can play, or not play, make phone calls hands-free. And the way they do this here is they give you this microphone with a 3M tape. I'm wondering if we can install this microphone somewhere. Does this move? Yeah, this moves. If we put this tape on this microphone holder, and then we'll route it and run it down to it in the glove box. We're going to do this minimally invasively because I don't want to tear this entire car apart for a microphone, which is aftermarket, which I already don't like. But wonder, what do you, here or here? Is here going to obstruct my rear view? I'm gonna do something that is pretty interesting. If I put it right here, it is definitely gonna obstruct my view. So I'm thinking more, not on this, maybe here? That doesn't look like it's gonna obstruct anybody. Or actually more, I'm gonna go with right there. I think that's a good spot. Let's go for it. And just hang the mount, and I mean, if it doesn't work or it falls off, you can get more of this double-sided tape and tape it somewhere else. For now, let's install it there and see what happens. This doesn't, I just hope the quality of this unit is a little better than the quality of their double-sided tape there. Well, let's hope that works. I probably should have tested it. You know, we know what they say. What do they say there? Measure once and cut 3 times. I feel like that's what I did right here. But see, that tells you how much I dislike aftermarket stuff. But what are you gonna do? You gotta get Grandpa to the 21st century here. All right, my least favorite part. Okay. So, like I told you, I'm not gonna I'm going to minimally invasively install this because I want to make sure that it's actually a good spot for it before we make it permanent, and probably just wrap it up a little bit better and kind of conceal the cable a little bit better. I'm obviously not going to run it like this, but we will tuck it behind the headliner. Have I told you how much I dislike this? I'm really not liking this. All right. Now I feel like the first bump we're gonna hit, this whole wire is gonna fall. I just want to test it out for a few days and see if it works better, and it works good. I mean, that position is good for this microphone. Because I get very bothered when you call somebody on the phone and you're trying to talk about something important and their audio in their car is just terrible, where you can't hear them, they can't hear you. It just sounds like a big muddy sound. I just don't like that. So I want to make sure that I don't sound like that now. I'm going to route it here. We'll leave it right there until we do our testing. And actually we do have I'm not going to take this out yet. Wrap this cable. Okay, we only have this, which is, I don't know if we even need to install this. This is a GPS antenna. I mean, we are using the Apple CarPlay stuff, which I think works off the phone GPS antenna. But I'm going to throw this in the glove box with everything. Let's plug this in. And it has this little cute antenna here. I'm going to leave that in the glove box. I'll do some testing. At some point, I'll give you guys kind of a update on this, see how it's working. Once we put it a little bit through some testing. It's not a review or anything. I bought this of my own money. I just don't like to be tangled up in these reviews. Okay. It's not the prettiest install in the world, but I don't like to make things, forgot this. And where does this go? Speaking of this, it says made in China very proudly on the side. Well, there's only one plug. Okay, well, it's plugged in, antenna's up. This is next to it. And we're all done. But we gotta test it. Let's test it one more time, make sure it's working properly before we wrap up this episode. Let's test it one last time. Immediately came up as V-Line. Well, I have V-Line. And this is not the Lexus anymore. I just get the V-Line logo. That's pretty cool. But we can still set the clock. It's not 1 o'clock. It is actually 9:37 p.m. Okay, so now what do we do? Oh, there it is. Okay, that works. Let's play some, and I love that it automatically connected. Let's play some sound and get some copyright okay music. We can test the audio one more time. Yep, that works. We are good. We are good. Navigation works. It's already telling me to go home. Yes, we will eventually. This sounds, I have to say one thing. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit just for you to hear it. We probably shouldn't raise it up too long. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. Wife is calling. We're sorry, we are filming. We will call you in a little bit. And the one thing about the audio is it is epic. Now, we did replace all the speakers here, but usually when we put aftermarket stuff, it just interferes with like the amplifier, and this Mark Levinson is really not happy with aftermarket stuff. It sounds amazing. I have to say the truth. It is just amazing how this works. Folks, LS430, okay, I don't know what happened there, but okay, podcast. We don't want podcast. How do you, oh, here we go. So LS430, Grandpa's LS430 with Apple CarPlay, wireless too, because here's my phone. We're not connected. This is amazing. I am really impressed by this, and I'll give you guys kind of an update in the next video on how it's going. And there you have it, folks. We have completely transformed the outside look of the 600,000 mile Lexus. We have brought it into the 21st century. And with that, I have some bitter news. It will be some time before you see another episode on this car, for reasons I shall get into in a moment. We are approaching winter here in Chicagoland, and after much thought and deliberation and kind of going back and forth, this car is rust-free. I do not want to drive it in the winter and kind of derail all the progress that we've made. We do have a few more things going on with it. I don't like the struts that it has. I don't like the front brakes. They're aftermarket. They make a lot of noise. And the body. That trunk needs to be repaired. We still have the glass. It hasn't been replaced yet. It has multiple cracks on it and few odds and ends. And again, this is a car with 600,000 miles. It's a gift that keeps giving. So for some time, you will not see content on this, but one thing that we do have planned here, as you will see come up, is the costs of this restoration so far. We're going to make a dedicated video, talk about what the future, a little bit more on the future plans, and how much have this cost us so far. It is a lot, and please, when you see that video, make it private from Mrs. Car Care Nut, because yeah, we'll get in trouble. But before we wrap up the video, I want to tell you one thing. We do have one more project. And sincerely, I want you guys to this is a live vote, if you would. Comment down below if you like projects like this in our channel, because I do have another project that is very dear to my heart, and this one kind of came about and became a car that I love, but the other one I loved from day one, and it's something I sought after. It's something of a childhood dream. We'll talk more about that. It will be a little bit of time. We need to take a little bit of break from these big projects, go back to our normal content, but you will see that project, and if this have gone too far, the next one will go even 3 times more. That is a guarantee. Folks, this car drives amazing. For a 600,000 mile car, and how clean it turned out, Chicago Auto Pros really outdid themselves there. They really did a good job. Everything is just beautiful inside. The outside, we'll need to work on it with the body shop, but body shops are really busy, and we're working with our local body shop here that do really good work. So you will see this progress, but do leave a comment. How do you like the series so far? How do you like this amazing transformation of this front and this whole car for that matter, which now, I don't know, has become a part of me, if you would. I really like this car. I love driving it, love everything about it, with its quirks and all its things here and there, but I love it. Folks, I hope this video was helpful and informative. I hope you have enjoyed this series so far. We will take a small break, but we will be back. As soon as salt washes off Chicago streets, this will come out of storage and you will see it again, because we have a few more things we need to take care of and more. Folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in this series. And until the next one, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have yourself a wonderful day.